Hello, and welcome to the After the Puck Drops podcast, the show that talks about the connections to hockey through conversation, news, and odds and ends to the sport that we Canadians love. I'm your host, Jess Cleveland. In today's episode, we will discuss the playing and coaching career of Shawn Mcmannaman. We'll look back at his playing career with the Spring Hill Coal Miners and now as coach and GM of the Amherst Ducks. Shawn, great to have you as a guest on the podcast.
Thanks for having me in, buddy.
What do you like most about when you played the game of hockey?
I think the thing I like the most about hockey is the connections you make. And, everywhere I go, even today, I see someone that I played hockey with. The other night in Moncton, I walked into Winners and there was a teammate that I had played with way back in Adam Hockey. So, everywhere you go, you kind of make these good connections. And I feel like if I lived anywhere in the world, I'd have, hockey to connect with.
What was the best part about playing with the Coal Miners?
I think it was nice with the Coal Miners. I was 13 years out of hockey, and I decided to come back and give senior hockey a try. The nicest piece was my two boys, Bennett's 11 and Williams 9, and both of them got to see me play a real hockey game, where there's referees and get to compete on the ice, and they see me score a goal, so that was nice.
How would you describe yourself as a player?
I was small, so I always had good speed and smarts with the puck. Pretty good IQ, and but definitely a playmaker. I don't like to shoot. Always looking to pass, and probably if the chance is there, I'm gonna force a pass over rather than shoot.
What was your earliest memory that you have of hockey?
I think just being around the rink as a kid. My dad played the sport, and he was running a bunch of tournaments that he was playing in Amherst. So I just remember being a kid and being up there, and and doing scorekeeping or music for the tournaments. It was a lot of fun.
Who inspired you to get into the game of hockey?
That's easy. My father definitely. He played for the Amherst Ramblers for 5 years, and I always wore his number 17. He's the reason I got into hockey. Obviously, always having us at the rink at a young age on the rollerblades or skates.
Going to your coaching and GM role now, what is the toughest challenge as the GM of the Ducks compared to the assistant coach role with the team?
Well, I started off as the assistant coach, and then the GM resigned, so they needed someone to take over. I was already doing some stuff behind the scenes, and I decided that I would take it on. I mean, it's tough now. You're steady on the phone and trying to communicate and see who's playing for the weekend, and I, sometimes I get the tough task of trying to decide who's going to play and who's going to sit. It's not much fun there, but at the end of the day, we make a choice and we move on and hope that it's the best decision.
So how would you describe yourself as an assistant coach and GM?
I think, I'm positive. I really enjoy being there. I'm dedicated, 100% effort. So, I prepare game notes for the boys so that they can see who we're playing and, what our matchups are. I want to make sure that, they have the best chance to compete against the team. And, on the bench, as assistant coach, you're not worrying about line changes and who's on. So, you're just positive on the bench, talking to the boys and helping there. It's definitely not the responsibility to worry about who's playing. They're not coming at me, so it's nice there.
So who would you say would be the top player on the Ducks team?
I think this year we've been super lucky. We brought in an import goalie, Matt Welsh. He's unbelievable, really. He could be playing some minor pro somewhere. He has some records in the queue, but he's definitely just lights out for us. Some games we win, it's because of Matt Welsh. So I like to say he's the best player.
So coming off of that, who do you think the number one player that the fans of the Ducks?
For the fans, I think they do enjoy seeing locals out there. I don't know if there's a set local that they like to watch, but, we're at senior hockey and we do have guys that, all their friends are there watching and family. I think that's the big calling card is having the locals. We got Jeremiah Martin, Jaden Matheson, Matt Hunter, Matt Colson, Nate Stone, Marshall McDonald, Jesse Colburn, Chad Miller. the list goes on. Like, it's just nice that their friends and family can come and watch them play. So I'd say just locals as a whole.
And finally, going into the final game Friday of the regular season, what do the Ducks need to do in order to win the final game here of the season?
We're going to have a tough matchup Friday night. Playoffs have really gotten tight. Right now, we moved into 5th place with a big win last game. We won 4-1 on the road against Elsie, and we're going to see them again Friday night. So we know that they're not happy. They lost a chance at their bye. If they had won our game the other night, they would have had a bye in the playoffs. So they're definitely not pleased with that. They're going to come in ready to play. We're going to have a good lineup for sure. We know we want to win. We want to finish in 5th and avoid a matchup with them. So the game plan, again, just being responsible in our own end, making sure we get the pucks out, chip it in, use our speed in on their defense. That's a big key. Their offense is high-powered. Their defense, is solid, but not as good as our offense. So we want to play in their end as much as possible.
Well, thanks, Shawn, for coming on.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Join me next time for another episode of After the Puck Drops podcast.